What if you could forgive yourself? How would your life change if you, in this moment, decided to no longer punish yourself by recalling past experiences that shroud you in guilt, remorse, or shame? What if you knew that forgiving others was a gift you offered the soul being you are? What if you knew that forgiveness was an action you took that allowed you to liberate your soul? What if you knew that forgiveness was an act of a warrior? What if you knew that forgiveness made you stronger? What if you knew that forgiveness would allow you to feel more confident and resilient in all your affairs? What if you knew that not forgiving yourself weighed you down? What if your mind understood that not forgiving others was like nailing yourself to a negative experience? What if you knew that forgiveness was tied to abundance? What if you knew that releasing resentments and vindictiveness would put you on the path towards abundance? What if you knew that forgiveness had nothing to do with anyone else but you? What if you knew that forgiving someone who has betrayed you had nothing to do with forgetting the person who harmed you? What if you knew that forgiving someone did not mean you needed to forget? What if you knew that forgiving someone could elevate you consciously, emotionally, and spiritually, while at the same time you had the right and the ability to exercise a divine boundary with someone who revealed to you that they had the potential to hurt you? What if you knew that boundaries were divine? What if you honored your right to have a boundary? What if you had the ability to set boundaries lovingly and in the spirit of love? What if you knew that you could be more loving and more open when you used divine boundaries? How safe would you feel if you could exercise divine boundaries? What if your mind understood that you could forgive as well as set boundaries out of love, without animosity and without hanging on to negative emotion? What if you knew that you could still send love to someone who you believe no longer fit into your life? What if you could let go and walk away out of love? What if you could be loving in spite of someone being unloving, knowing that it was your divine right and divine responsibility to protect yourself from those who you have learned have the potential to be unkind? What if you knew that forgiving others released you from the karma of experiences that create the need to be angry and to hold grudges in the first place? How would your life change if you, from this day forward, decided that you would find the path of least resistance in all relationships? What if you knew it was your birthright to use the divine spirit of discernment to decide who deserved to be in your life and who does not? And what if you could make these decisions consciously and in the spirit of love? What if you made a decision to forgive those who have wounded you for you? What if you understood that unforgiveness, revenge, and grudges kept you stuck in patterns of experiences that would only bring about and could only bring about mirroring experiences to the experiences that caused you to feel wounded in the first place? What if you knew forgiveness released you from negative karmic experiences? How much joy would you feel if you could let go? How much abundance would you experience in your life if you refuse to allow the past to hold you back? What if, from this day forward, you decided to no longer recall times in your past when others betrayed you, and instead you replaced those thoughts with thoughts of forgiveness and letting go? How much lighter would you feel if you could willfully call on the law of forgiveness to assist you in releasing the energy of unforgiveness? What if you knew the universe could only respond to the energy that you emitted? What if you knew that being unforgiving was like asking the universe for more experiences that would cause you to remain in the spirit of distrust? What if you knew that if you made the choice to willfully move in a direction of forgiveness, that your life would have to change? What if you knew that choosing to live in the spirit of forgiveness is akin to living in the spirit of non-resistance? What if you knew that that which you resist persists, and that the spirit of unforgiveness persists in our lives through the recreating of patterns and experiences that cause us to remain in the spirit of unforgiveness? What if you knew that choosing to forgive would liberate you from the karmic wheel of unforgiveness? What if you knew that choosing to forgive was an act of a warrior? What if you knew that it was stronger to forgive and let go than it was to hold on? What if you knew that forgiveness was an act of courage and bravery? What if you knew that every cell in your being would respond to the releasing of negative emotion, and that every cell in your body would respond joyfully at the releasing of the energy of unforgiveness? What if you knew that by blessing those who have offended you would propel you to higher emotional, spiritual, and vibrational heights? What if you knew that forgiveness would put you on the path towards abundance? What if you knew that forgiveness is healing? What if you knew that you have come to forgive? What if you knew that forgiveness was the answer to your prayers? What if you knew that when you forgive, you see the world through different eyes? What if you knew that releasing negative energy and choosing to forgive caused your internal eye to view the world in a magical way? What if you knew that living in the spirit of anger and distrust caused you to see more things in the external world that reinforce the beliefs that were tied to anger and distrust? What if you knew that through the spirit of forgiveness you could heal your body? What if you knew that forgiveness would allow your body to come out of survival? What if you knew that forgiveness was received as your body to mean it had the permission to thrive? Who is it you need to forgive? What emotions are you willing to release? Who in your life do you need to set divine boundaries with in the spirit of love? Who do you need to release to their own karma? Who do you need to let go of? What beliefs do you need to change? Do you need to forgive yourself? Do you need to offer yourself compassion? Do you need to forgive a past event? It is important to remember all human beings are born asleep. All human beings have many selves. The self within each of us that is the most unconscious is also the most reactive. The self within us that is the most unconscious will use the most ego defense mechanisms. The unconscious self will rationalize poor behavior. This is true of us all. It is time to forgive your younger self for any experiences that are preventing you from allowing you to love yourself completely. It is time to recognize that every human being has made mistakes, acted out, and said things they regret. It is time to understand that any younger version of you was a product of that level of consciousness and awareness at the time. It is time to forgive yourself for not knowing what you did not know. It is time to understand that every human can be reactive, short-sighted, and act out of ego defense mechanisms. It is time to recognize that all human beings are more unaware than they are aware. It is time to recognize that all human beings have a younger, more unconscious, unaware, and active ego self. It is time to forgive the human condition. It is time to understand that you have not come to judge, and instead you have come to discern. You have come to honor the information that you receive from others and your environment, and to use this information to better craft a world that honors your spiritual growth. It is time to understand that some people come into your life only for a season and only to offer you lessons only that person could have taught you. It is time to allow yourself to set divine boundaries and to do so out of love. It is time to give yourself permission to let go and to move forward honoring the self, exerting spiritual boundaries, physical boundaries, and emotional boundaries when necessary. It is time to give yourself permission to exert boundaries out of love. It is time to accept that not all human beings will agree with you and understand you. It is time to let go of any idea that has you imprisoned by the past. It is time to let go of people, situations, beliefs, emotions, and even memories that prevent you from merging with the divine self. It is time to forgive, to release, to honor, and to discern. Honor yourself, honor what you feel. Always choose the energy of love. Always speak with integrity. Always speak with grace. Never speak to wound. Never speak from ego. Always speak from love. Namaste. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough.